Hello, 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 hello. Structure, but I'm also upload the video link in your Google Classroom because there is a little bit student is there or 16 or 17 student is there. Okay, fine. So I'm talking structure once more time and doing some basic program using structure. So first of all, uh, we define what is structure. So like array or pointer, we know that. So when we work with this type of array or pointer, we have to declare the data type of this type of array or pointer, whatever the problem statement is, whatever the problem statement we have. So the point is, when we declare the array, we first declare the data type of that array. It means that until or unless we define the data type of the array, we can't tell the compiler that which types of data actually the array store. And we already know that array store the same types of data. So if we declare int after that array name with within third bracket open close array size, it means that this array, whatever my array name, suppose ARR, so ARR only store the integer types of data, nothing else. So we can store whatever the size of your array, we can store only the integer type of data if I am declaring that my array data type is int. So similarly, it is applicable for float also. But thing is, when the same thing, when we declare with the data type with char, it works as a string because we know that when the array store only the character type of data, it called string. Now there is some basic difference between array and string because in array there is no concept for null terminator or null character, but in string there is a null character which we already know that backslash a backslash 0 we write in that way. So in case of array, in case of string, see all of these things are stored same data types element. Means if my array I'm declaring int, it will store only the integer type of values. If I'm declaring the char, it means it treated as a string and it stored only the character types of data, no integer, no float. So this is array string. We already know that. All these things we already know that. Now if we think about the pointer, there is also a data type. So before we declaring the pointer variable, we declare the data type of that pointer variable. It is also the same thing that whatever the pointer variable data type, it store the address of only the same data types of element, nothing else. So if my pointer variable is int star p and there is another variable int a, now I am writing p is equal suppose int star ptr, so ptr is equal to ampersand a. It means that this ptr means pointer variable which is store only the integer type of values address. So If I am writing ptr is equal to ampersand a, it means that ptr store the address of a, and C, the ptr data type and a data type both are same. So there is a no concept of different data types. All are same. In case of array, in case of string, in case of pointer, all of these are working actually the same data types of elements. But when we talk about the structure, structure is a, you say that structure is a what we can say, structure is a data structure or something like that, where we can store different types of data elements, different types of data elements. What I want to say that, suppose I'm going to store the information of a particular student. So you are my student and I'm stored the information of any one of you. So when we talk about the information of a student, so something must be a criteria is there. Suppose I'm recognize you by your roll number. I'm recognize you by your name. I'm recognize you by your department, your semester, your paper name, your marks, whatever you want. So all those things are the information of you. Now I'm going to store this information using some program. So see, so if I'm store your roll number, so this is the integer type of data, because obviously your roll number is not a float or character types of data. It is obviously an integer type of data. It means that it will in between 0 to 9, whatever your roll number is, your university roll number, your class roll number, whatever it is. Next thing, your name. Obviously your name, which consists only the characters. There is no concept of integer or float. You can't say that my name is 112233, something like that. But I am always writing my name as Momita Chakraborty, because all the letters is a character type of data. So if I want to store the name of you, then we have to work with a string, because we know that if we store the name or display the name, we work with a string, because my name, I'm going to store my name in a particular array, which array is called string, which can store only the characters type of data. So my roll number is the integer value, but my name is a character type of data. Next thing, my suppose whatever I'm getting the marks in a particular paper, which is also a integer type of data, or maybe floats type of data. Suppose I'm giving you the marks, suppose 15.5. So 15.5, if I'm storing out of 20, just you তুমি হয়তো পেয়েছো 15.5, it's possible. So 15.5, if I'm storing this data, we have to use float. So my roll number is integer, my name is character, and my marks is float. আরো অনেক কিছু এখানে আছে। Suppose কোন ডিপার্টমেন্টে আমি পড়ি, which is also a character type of data, which year, which same, whatever. So see, if I'm storing a information of a particular student, we have actually stored the different types of data elements, which consist integer, float, character, etc., etc. So in that particular case, we have use in our program as structure. So structure is a place where we can define different data types, variable, which holds different data values. If I am storing the information of a student, suppose after declaring whatever the structure is, how to declare the structure, I am telling that one. So before going to programming part, just clear that thing. I am after declaring the structure like array or string, we are going to declare the structure member. Structure member means, what are the structure member? Structure member means whatever the information you actually store for a particular student. If my problem statement is that I have to store the information of a student. So suppose I am storing a roll number, I am storing name, and I am storing suppose your semester fees, like for taking the float type of values, nothing else. Okay, so these roll number, name, and fees, these things are a structure member. All these three things are called structure member. Now, when we work with that structure member, you have to declare this member with its data type in between the structure. In between the structure, it means that suppose I'm storing the roll number of a student, so I'm declaring the structure member as int roll. I'm storing the information of a name of a student, so I'm declaring char str within third bracket open close, suppose 15 or 20. Because until or unless I am not using any string, I can't store any name of a student, because I have to store all the information of a student. So when we talk about the information of a student, first it's that its roll number, its name, or something like that. And talking about the fees, obviously fees may be in a floating type of values, because point something may be there. So we use, in case of fees, we use float fees. So int roll char str or name, whatever your string name is. So int roll char name within third bracket open close 20, float fees, all are these things are called my structure member. So you have to declare the structure member within your structure and with its data type. Now see, it is very obvious that you are working with a different types of data. Int, roll, int, char, float. All these things are different types of data elements. So structure is a place where you can store the different types of data elements. Basically, you have to work with different types of data elements in a single place. So I'm just doing a simple program that we have to store the information of a student. So first we read the information, then we display the information, nothing else. We read the information and we display the information. The thing is, I'm talking about particular one student. Now think about, you have 60 students in your class, all CSIT, 60 students in your class. So if my program is, I'm going to store the information of a student, suppose someone told me that you have to store all the information of your first year CSIT. So I'm writing a program in that way that I'm going to store each and every student of my class, means all the 60 students. Whatever the structure I am telling you, whatever the structure member I am telling you, all are for particular one student. Means suppose I'm going to store the information of a particular student of your class. So I'm storing the information of roll number, name, and fees. So same information I'm going to store the another 59 students also. So it is very obvious that it's not possible that I am writing the program for 60 students for 60 times in a same structure program. It is not possible. So I am declaring the structure once. I am declaring the structure member once. So structure and structure member, it means that my student, it's belong to the structure. My student 1 to student 60, all are belongs to this structure. and all are access this structure member also, means role, name and fees. So it's not possible for me that I'm writing 60 times for 60 students. I'm writing the structure for 60 times for each and every student. It's not possible. So I'm writing once that what is my structure, and I'm writing what is my structure members. So I'm writing this one time in my program. But all of my 60 students are accessible these structure members as well. All the 60 students access this structure member as well. That I'm going to input all the 60, not only the 60 different information. Actually, this is a 60 into 3 different types of information, and it will show me all the information for a particular student if I'm my output in that way, that student 1 information, student 2 information, student 3 information, or something like that. Or it possible, then we can store or we can display the information roll number wise. Whatever the roll number, class roll number is 1, the name is physics. Class roll number 2, name is physics. If you want, then you can add more than 3 data members in your structure. It is totally depend on you. I'm just talking about, for example, I'm just talking about the 3 members, nothing else. So I'm writing my program in that way that I'm declaring the structure once and the structure members also once. But all the 60 students, not only the 60 students, whatever my problem statement is, if these are for 100 students, all these 100 students are accessible by this, is a part of this structure, and all these 100 students are accessing this structure member also. So obviously it is very clear for all of us that we have to execute a loop, because until or unless same thing happen 100 times or 60 times, whatever you say, I am inputting all the information for 60 people differently. So I am writing my program in a loop manner, because until or unless same thing is happen 60 times, if I am talking about the storing the information of 60 students. So same thing for entering integer, for entering float, for entering fees, for entering name, whatever your structure member is, for entering 60 times, you have to execute a loop. So first of all, we have to declare our structure. Then we have to define our structure member. After that, we have to execute a loop for accessing the structure members, for read the data from the user. Read the data from the user. Whatever the display part I'm talking about that later. So till now we have to declare a structure and structure member also, and assuming that first of all I'm going to store the information of 5 students, nothing else. So your program is, you have to store, read or display the information of 5 students of your class. Whatever the information you want to store, you may, no problem with that. So I'm read this information of 5 students, and I'm display the information of 5 students as well. Means whatever the information I'm giving for the 5 student, compiler shows me the output roll number wise. Suppose roll number 1 name is physics, roll number 2 name is physics, in that way. If you want, then you can store your information in that way, and if you want, then you can display your information in any other way also. It's not possible, but the procedure is same. Procedure is same. So now I'm going to share the screen. Okay, so I'm declaring here the structure first. And so first of all, we discuss about that how to declare a structure with its members. So before declaring a structure, we have to use struct keyword. Struct keyword. Struct keyword. What is the meaning of that? So struct keyword is work as an identifier. Identifier. Identifier means when compiler compile this statement or this line, it will know that whatever the word after this struct, this is my structure name. This is my structure name. Okay. So until or unless you define this structure, the struct keyword, you can't define that this is my structure. So after declaring struct keyword, you have to declare your structure name. So according to my problem statement, we have to store the information of a student or a 5 student or 10 student, whatever it is. So for that reason, I am declaring here the structure name as student, because after all, I'm going to store here the information of a student. Okay, information of a student. So my structure name is also student. If you want, then you can use any other names also. No problem with that. So after struct keyword, I'm going to declare here my structure name. Jar mic ta off on ache ekটু off koro to. সবাই মিউট করো, কার মাইক অন আছে মিউট করো। Okay, so struct, after declaring struct, I'm declaring here the structure name. So my structure name declaration is complete. Structure declaration is complete. After that, there is a second bracket open. So struct, after that structure name. If you want, then you can write in your copy that after declaring struct, we have used here structure name. Student লিখো না, তাহলে পরে identify করতে পারবে না what is student. Just write here structure name, because always your problem statement is storing the information of a student. এটা নাও হতে পারে. So after declaring struct keyword, you have to declare the structure name. In that particular program, the structure name is student. It's clear? So in between this second bracket open close, we have to declare here our structure member. What I am already discussing with you, that we have to declare whatever the information you want to store against a student. এটা এমন নয় যে আমি বলছি বলে খালি এই তিনটেই স্টোর করা যাবে। It's not like that. If you want, then you can store any other 3 information about a student. If you want, then you can store the 10 information about a student. No problem with that. So I'm here, I'm just, for example, I'm taking 3 different data types, nothing else. So I'm taking int roll. Obviously, a roll number of a student is an integer type of value. Next is storing the name. So obviously, this is a string. So in between that, I am declaring 20 or something like that. And I am taking another member which is float, suppose fees. I am just taking this one for example, nothing else. Okay, so I am just taking 3 different data values, nothing else. So int roll number, so roll number data type is int. Name char, obviously char, because name is always a character, store only the character types of data, and it is also a string, we know that. And float fees. So see, all these 3 are called structure member. Structure member of what? Of student, which is a structure. So this is my structure name and this is my structure member. And see, it is very obvious that in between the student, which is my structure, I am declaring different types of data values. So this thing is not possible for array, this thing is not possible for string, and this thing not possible for pointer also. So structure is a place where we can store the different types of data elements in a single place. In a single place. Now, what is the next thing? Now, this total thing, whatever your structure name, whatever your structure member, all of these things, just I am declared here that what is my structure. So these three members means int role, char name, float fees. All these things are accessible by all of the people in your class, means 60 student. Roll number 1 যেমন এটা access করবে, what is his or her name, what is his or her fees. So same thing is accessed by roll number 60 also. So the thing is, till now I'm telling the compiler that this is my structure name and this is my structure member, nothing else. I'm not telling the compiler that how many student I have. Compiler কিন্তু এখনো জানে না আমি কতগুলো স্টুডেন্ট নিয়ে কাজ করছি, because I am not telling that one till now. If I am dealing with a particular student, so it is fine. But I'm dealing with a, suppose I'm storing the 5 or 10 students information. So আমাকে কম্পাইলার কে বলতে হবে যে 10টা স্টুডেন্টের ইনফরমেশন আমি স্টোর করতে যাচ্ছি। So 10 students all are access these members including this student structure. So all these 10 student actually called are the structure variable. This is the structure name. This is the structure members. Now the question is, I'm going to read the information of 5 students. Student 1, student 2, student 3, student 4 and student 5. So I'm going to tell the compiler that these 5 students all are access these 3 structure member and all are the variable of this student. So until or unless you declare that whatever you have the student number, compiler doesn't understand that actually how many information you store or how many student you have. It means that এখন অবধি আমি আবার রিপিট করছি, এখন অবধি আমি কম্পাইলারকে এইটুকু বলেছি that struct, very obvious that after whatever I am writing, this is a structure. So my structure name is student, and in between this structure, second bracket open close, I am telling the compiler that all are this my structure member. So now I'm going to store the information of 5 students. So these all are 5 students are called structure variable. Structure variable. Why structure variable? Why I'm calling that one? Because all these 5 students are accessed, all these 3 members. So these are my members. This is not the not treated as a variable. I know that this is a variable name, but these all are treated as a structure member. All are variable, we know that, but this treated as a structure member. And my 5 student is called the structure variable. So all these structure variable actually access this structure member. তো যতক্ষণ না আমি কম্পাইলারকে বলছি যে কারা আমার স্ট্রাকচার ভেরিয়েবল, ততক্ষণ অবধি ও বুঝতে পারবে না যে তুমি বা কারা এই স্ট্রাকচার মেম্বার গুলোকে অ্যাক্সেস করছে। Until or unless I am declaring the structure variable, compiler doesn't understand that who is actually access these data members or structure members. So in that particular problem, we have to declare the structure variable. So now I'm going to store the information of 5 students. That's why I'm declaring here the array of 5 students. Why array? Why? Because we know that when we are working with the array, what's happening? Happening that in somewhere in a memory location, a memory block is assumed by particular the array name, and every memory blocks have some index number. We all know that. And always in case of array, the index, lower index starting from 0 and upper index starting with ending with n-1. We all know that. And every index have some value. So whatever the information, suppose I am entering for student roll number 1. So roll number is 1, name is suppose ABC, and fees is suppose 5,000 or 5,000.25 or 5,000.75, assuming that. So all these 3 different things are stored in between the lower index first when my loop is executed. So somewhere in a structure, I'm going to occupy a memory location by S, which is my array, which have some index number from 0 to 4. We know that. And suppose for roll number 1, for the very first student, roll number 1 student, all the information of roll number 1 student are stored in between the S 0th position in between the structure. So in S 0th position, actually store the roll number, then name, then fees. So you can assuming in that way, if I'm draw a picture, it will looks like that. Suppose you know that how do I draw a picture in our board, that what is array. So array picture কি করে draw করতে হয় আমরা জানি। So একটা আমি যদি array draw করি, তো প্রত্যেকটা division is a memory block, and প্রত্যেকটা memory location have some index number from 0 to n-1. So assuming that in A's 0th position, A's within third bracket open close in a 0th position. So A's the 0th position, it's dividing into 3 different parts. So in between the A's 0 position, just dividing in a 3 different part, just dividing by line in between one memory block. In A's 0 position, just dividing in between 2. So first one is stored for roll number, next one is stored for name, and third part is stored fees. So it will continue up to the 4th position, 4th number of index, which means the student roll number 5. Student roll number 5. So in that way, it will store the information of student 0, First time loop executed. Again my loop is executed when the index number is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. And when the index number is 5, it will not satisfy the condition. So it will move out from the loop. So in that way, I'm going to store the information of 5 students in my array, but using the structure. Because we know that in case of array, we can't store the different types of data elements in a single array. But you have done this thing in between the structure. Because this is my structure and I'm going to declare the array somewhere and I'm going to store the information, whatever my structure members are. I'm going to store these 3 different structure members and read the information and store for the particular memory index which actually occupies by the student roll number or student number, whatever you say. So if I work with a array, my index number starts with 0 and end with n-1. So here n is 5. So my index number starting with 0 and end with 4. So in that way, you can declare whatever your structure variable is. Now, if you want to store the information of 10 students, you just increase your array size, nothing else. But the question is, in place of S5, we also write down the variable name individually. Suppose stdi1, suppose I am writing here, say std1, comma, std2, std2, comma, std3 or something like that. But in case of 5 or 7 or 10 students, it's possible. But when the number is increased, suppose for 60 students, it's too much difficult that you have to declare all these 60 names. It's not possible. That's why we declare here the array size here. So I'm just executing a loop and it will automatically store the information whatever I am putting for the particular student. Okay. So this is my simple structure declaration, structure member declaration with its data type. And after that, I am declaring the structure variable. So AS5, this is treated as a structure variable. Is treated as a structure variable. Okay. Now we have to read all these information, all the information of these 5 students. So first we read that one, then we display that one. So structure declaration is complete, structure member is complete, and structure variable is complete. Now we are move on to the main function where actually we execute a loop for storing the information of these 5 students, each and every one individually. So first of all, we write here a, or we declare here a I, because this is work as a loop variable, because very obvious that we have to execute a loop, and for execution a loop we declare the I. Okay. Next is just a simple statement line, just written enter information of students. Nothing else. Just hold on for 2 minutes. All of you, I'm audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you see the screen?
No, ma'am. It is.
Okay,
No,
okay,
ma'am.
okay, okay, okay. Okay, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so just continue. So after writing this printf line, I'm just execute a loop. So how do you execute a loop? So simple. For I equals to 0, I less than n, and I plus plus. So in between them, in between this for loop, we have to execute or we have to read all the data or all the information of 5 students. So whatever the information I'm giving for the first time, it will store at the S0 position. For second time, when I'm entering the second information, it will store into the S1 position. So in that way, all the information of 5 students are stored somewhere in a memory location. Okay, for that reason, we first know that how to access the parameters to the structure member. How do you access or how do you pass the parameter to the structure members? So for that reason, I'm writing here SI. Why I'm writing here? I'm telling that one. SI dot roll is equal to I plus 1. Why I'm writing here? Because I'm writing or I'm assigning the roll number for a particular student. Why I'm writing this line? See, just think logically and understand just systematically, nothing else. I'm not writing any complicated thing. Just logically check that one. So first time my loop is executed when the I value is 0. Okay, so means S0. S0. It is not n, it's 5. Sorry, it's 5. Okay, so S0. I value is 0. Simply I am putting the 0 in a ith position. So first time my loop executed 0. I am initializing I with 0. I value is 0 means 0 less than 5. This is a true condition. So compiler enter into the loop body. Okay, so I value is 0. So S0 dot roll number. So using this dot operator, we are basically pass the parameter to the structure member. Dot roll. Dot roll. Roll is my structure member. See, I am already defining int roll is my structure member. So SI dot roll. So I am assigning the role for a student number 1. So student number 1 means obviously in a 0th position, because আমরা খুব ভালো মতন জানি যে memory lower index array lower index starting with 0. So obviously whatever the student 1 information, it is obviously stored into the S0 position. It is clear? So S0 store the roll number of I plus 1. I plus 1 means 0 plus 1. So S0 in that memory or that index position holds the student first time the roll number 1. So first time when my loop is executed, I am assigning the student roll number 1. But it is stored into the S0th position, means the lower index of my array, which is S. I am just assigning the values or the parameter to the structure member using dot operator. Using dot operator. So in that way, I am just putting the roll number for a student 1, which is stored into the S0th position of my array. Nothing else. Okay. After that, I am just print this roll number for clearing my output monitor, nothing else. Just some clear for my display monitor, display window, nothing else. So I'm writing here printf for roll number %d is equal to comma si dot roll. Si dot roll, nothing else. Why I'm writing in that here these things? Just put off this line. I'm just run this program. Just whatever I'm run this program. See? For roll number 1, for roll number 2. So whatever the information I am entering after that, it will all show for roll number 1, for roll number 2, for roll number 3, for roll number 4 or something like that. For printing that one, I'm just write this line, nothing else. Okay, I am assigning the roll number first. See, the roll number 1 actually stored into the S0 position, which is the lower index position of my array. So this is my 0th position, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3 and this is 4. So my loop is executed for the 5 times, for the 5 students, nothing else. So whatever the information I am writing here, so it will all print after or it will executed after roll number 1. So there is nothing in between after this line. That's why it will all print the roll number 1, roll number 2, 3, 4 and 5 because I am also going to store the information of these 5 students. Okay? Till now clear? Everybody till now clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
Okay. So I have another class from 10. So the time is running out already 9:55. So continue in the next class. Okay. And if you have any questions regarding assignment, so all these things are discussed in tomorrow's class. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And Akanksha, please send me the attendance by afternoon, today afternoon. Okay, because it's required. Not in the evening. Today afternoon के अंदर मुझे attendance भेजो. Okay. Thank you, everyone.